Transformers reviews, tech and the news, whatever else I use as a muse. Hit subscribe, I appreciate the views. Influences interest on YouTube.
What's going on, people? This is Influence, and I'm back with another review. This is X-Transbots, Janssen, and scientist Janssen. You know it as Perceptor. I'm never gonna call him that again, probably, unless I'm trying to refer to him since we have two coming. First off, you see the 360. It's a good looking bot. I can't deny that. I do have some issues with it that we will get into in a minute. I'm trying really hard to like this figure. The reason I say that is because it is super fiddly. Now, it looks great. I never had Fans Toys first release. I can't compare that. I don't know. I know that has some issues, and you know, I'm not going to compare. When I get Fans Toys version 2.0, I will compare these two. But off the bat, like it's a fiddly bot, and it's like certain things, like right here. I'm just gonna get into the negatives. I mean, there's good things too. There's some positives here, but this is supposed to like slide in there, and it barely does. I don't have it exactly right too, so that's a fault of mine. But even when you have it right, it doesn't slide in. The big thing is I broke this peg that goes up here. I just left it in his leg, but that's where it goes in tank mode, and I will show that a little later in the review. But it grips this, and that's what I mean. Like, it has some weird choices in, and this won't ever stay on. That's why I just kept it. That's why I kept it. You see that stress mark is basically broke, but you see it's like a half clamped, and it's that weird plastic. So we got that. We got, what's the other thing? Right here comes out like that, but it does it super easy. And when you're trying to get it back in, it's kind of hard, but you can get it back in. But when I'm manipulating, it does come apart. So that's a pain sometimes. Up here is fiddly during the transformation, but we all know that. It's just some weird choices in materials. Now, it has a lot of heft because there's a lot of die cast in this guy, and I appreciate that. It's all die cast up here, but sometimes the choices are weird. Like, you have die cast in this part of the leg, but it's plastic here on this screw, and there's no ratchet, so the screw is just rubbing against plastic, I guess, or the pin. I guess it's a pin, maybe, but it's just on here. It's just that plastic that over time I can certainly see that it will fail, and it'll probably get messed up over time. Now, that's if you mess with this all the time. You know, it's going to look good on your shelf, and accessories are a super big bonus. Right here also stay like this, but it doesn't. It pops out. Both sides are like that. It bothered me when I saw it. Now I can't unsee it. One of those type things. And you see how the legs split, and I haven't even been doing anything, and it does that often. Again, when you have it on your shelf, it'll be fine. The feet are kind of wonky. The toes are loose, and these are loose. You can probably just tighten that screw to get it tight. It's hard to stand. Well, it's not super hard to stand. It'll stand up. But as soon as you start manipulating it, it'll go back. Chapters will be in the description. One last thing is this knee. Again, the choices in materials. Now, there's a nice ratchet that's almost kind of double jointed, but this knee comes out all the way. I'm going to get through this stuff so I don't forget it. That's why I'm doing it first. Now, this knee is not supposed to be all the way out like that. At least I don't think it is, because it's not on anything. Now, if you push it up, it goes past. You can feel it go past where that groove was. You can see that groove, and this is where I think the knee should be. I don't know if it should be like this to get that extra. I think it's actually breaking it. And this plastic feels like shampoo bottle. Like right here on this knee. And I don't know, like, I don't know what their problem is with the choices in materials. Like materials, good materials is not just throwing die cast in a figure. Let me put it like that. I know a lot of people say Fans Toys just throw die cast in anything. And they do put a lot of die cast in their figures. That's a fair assessment. But it's not just the die cast that make figures great. So that knee bothers me because it does wobble. I mean, once you push it up where it's supposed to go, it's less. Like over here, it's not as bad. Actually, it's not bad at all once you put it up. But you can do the same thing over here, and I'm going to do it once. Like once you go past that, and I believe it's not supposed to go past that, but you wouldn't know that when you're trying to double joint it up. You just got to try to hold it and put it back up in there. But it's so easy. It's such soft plastic. It feels weird. But let's get into accessories. So I think where they shine is accessories. I mean, that's the big thing. That's the big competition. That's what Fans Toys is trying to copy now. They're giving more heads because of accessories. So the box, normal X-Transbots box. Got this going on. Got this. Got the bio. You want to read. Got this, the tech specs with the red thing and all the, like, back in the day. I always love their boxes because it reminds me of the old school G1 boxes. So you get 2 additional comic heads. You get this one without the scope, and then you get this one with the scope. Now with these heads on, it won't transform with these heads on, but you can. And it's weird because they said it doesn't transform with their heads on. I don't know, maybe it does. But they still have the spring loaded in the back, and this just came out. Maybe I shouldn't have pushed it like that because now it's not going back in. There we go. Yeah, it has the spring loaded in the back, and that's for transformation. Who knows? Who knows? But let's get those heads out of here. We get some beakers. Got some beakers here. Got a martini glass. No, I know that's not a martini glass. Actually, could be. So you got the martini glass going on. But now you got the beakers, and they slot in just like the guns. Just into the hand. They can go into any hand. So that's nice. That's nice. You know, he's a scientist. I don't know if a robot scientist is using beakers and stuff, but it is what it is. Now this is, these figures alone, I would buy this for these figures. I'm kind of being facetious, but not really, because they are nice. I'm not going to go through articulation all the way, but let's just show a little bit. It's almost like a headmaster or a target master or something. Just, they got a lot of articulation. You see here, the paint is great, especially for these figures. Faces aren't as great. There we go. Faces are pretty wild looking. What can you expect? So we got him as, and I think it's from that episode when they went inside Megatron. They got small or something, I think. Got a card. So the cards, I'm not doing this in any order. Then you got the little figure as a microscope. I believe he did change into a microscope and to look at some stuff. You got Brawn. I love this figure. He looks great. Again, with the paint and the articulation. These little figures are so, I don't know, I just think they're cool. And it definitely, if you have a Unicron, these would be the figures to go. Or maybe I think I'm going to use these on my Arc. With my Arc. And I think that'll be cool. And you got this. And Bumblebee's face, of course, looks crazy. Looks wild. But he looks good. He looks like Bumblebee. Again, you got the articulation. Now you get these plates, which are the G1 guns, and they kind of store, I don't know what you can do with those plates, but they store the guns. You just put the guns together. Now you got the G1 gun, and then you even got the missile launcher, the G1 missile launcher. And I'll show you the G1 in a minute. And the missile launcher, the missile does fire like old school. That's nuts. Got these little boards, so they're just not laying around. You can use them as props or something. And then he gets blast effects. Got this blast effect. You can just take it off this thing. I don't know if this thing belongs on one of these. But yeah, there you go. You can have the blast effect. And I love this blast effect. Like I like the way it looks. Looks great to me. I think it's better than the rubber ones you get from the main line. It's his handgun. Handgun going on. This is the cartoon gun. So then you get these five extra faces. You have this one with the little smile going on. You have this one with the little, I guess, frown. I can't really tell. You got this like, oh no, what's going on? This is like, oh no, what's going on more? And this is like, don't know what. It looks like he's kissing. I don't know. Some of these choices of faces, they're always suspect. So, I mean, I don't know. But there you go. You got choices of faces. So here he is with the G1 reissue. And as you can see, these guns are G1, and this is the masterpiece, identical. So you can't ask for much more. And here's the G1 rocket launcher. And although they're not identical, they're close enough. You can see the G1, of course, and this one. Good updates to it. And here he is with blaster. See their size comparison. Yeah, I think that's nice looking. Let's see. Here he is with prime. This is Magic Square's prime. I think I like TE's prime better, but I'll probably get a prime eventually, a new prime. But yeah, for now you can see the sizes. I think the sizes are great. And I like it. I like it. Show the book real quick. Just a normal book. Does all right. You got this as well. You got the preview, which they've been showing. Here they show you how to put the wheel in each mode. Shows you some extra pieces, extra things. There's a waist bend that is not in the directions. I already did like the up close and personal as far as my negatives. But positives, great paint, great paint. Like their paint game is not improving because they always have a pretty good paint game, but yeah, they're definitely nice paint. It feels good. Some of the parts feel good, I should say. It's die cast here, and not just because it's die cast, but like this right here feels good, even though this doesn't. Like sometimes there are choices in material. Like they have good materials. They can find good materials. They just need to use the good materials on all the parts. So, but maybe that's why they're keeping their price. Well, their prices are going up. It's different. And there's that piece. So you get the waist bend. But I'll show that on articulation. Like I said, it's fiddly all up in here. Like I don't have this 100% because I was fiddling with it and see, now it done went down. Like if you mess with anything, because I was messing with it, moving it around and stuff. But like if you mess with any parts or whatever, it'll go in. It's not a lot of spots that clip on. So the head goes up about that much, goes down about that much, does spin all the way around, no side to side. This faceplate comes off a lot, and I don't like that. Arm goes up all the way like that. On the other side goes up like that. There is a butterfly you can get, if I can get this arm correct. Man. But the butterfly goes out like that. I think in pictures they had his arms folded. And I guess he can get that pose if you really wanted to. Just got to try. So you got that. Bicep swivel built right there. Has a double jointed elbow. Gets you full run. Not bad. Great, actually. Waist all the way around. I showed the bend. You got to kind of get it. It's right here on this little piece right there. Like it bothers me, but there you go. It's a little clip that clips onto that little slot right there. But once you do that, then you can get the waist bend. I'll probably never do that. I don't know. I'm not good at posing figures anyhow. Check out DS Icons. He poses figures pretty great, and he does a lot of posing on his channel. But he does do a lot of 1/6 scale. I think that's what he collects more than Transformers. But not sponsors. I just like to shout people out that are doing their thing. Again, I like these hands. These hands are pretty good. I like the fingers. The fingers have a knuckle right here that go up and down, and then there's the knuckle that goes in, the regular thumb knuckle. And here you have a pin on each knuckle, except for the front. Except for this up here, it's just like that. But I still think it's nice. You can get them a little straighter than typewriter fingers. Get them in like that too. Skirts do get up, all four. These skirts go in to accommodate the leg moving. So you can get it forward, and you get it about that much back. So he's not really doing the hurdles, but it's that weird joint again. You probably could get it up here, but it doesn't stay because it doesn't have a ratchet to go up there. It's like a soft ratchet, but it's like a weird soft ratchet, like 1, 2, and that's it. And then you can't get it no more. And then, again, that's coming undone. But then you had I showed it, this here that goes up and then down. You need it. Sometimes it gets stuck and you just lift this up and push it down that way. But then you can get the splits. And he does do the whole splits, but it will fail. It's not ratcheted to the side. That's another thing. I don't understand why people don't ratchet to the side. Why companies ratchet forward and back, but they don't ratchet to the side. And to me, I think a ratchet to the side is worth more than forward and back. That's just me, because sometimes you're in A stance, and I know figures that go like this. This doesn't feel like it would do that though. There's that. Then you have the swivel right here, so it doesn't get like a full swivel, but it's just like that much. Then I showed you the knee earlier, which is ratchet. You can get it right about to there, which is 90 degrees. Again, I showed you before, if you get it farther, you like kind of break it. Not break it, but it comes off that, and I don't think it's supposed to. And you see that little gap there. So yeah, my knee is on the fritz, and that could be individual. Who knows? Just like that peg. If it's the same plastic though, it's not individual. Just so you know. We got the feet. Feet can go all the way down like that. They go up, toe tilt, and you can get a super duper rocker. Now the heel spur doesn't really, it does move. You can get it like that. And I think if you bend it a little bit like that, you can get a better, well, not like that. That's too much, but you can get that. You can also pull it out like I had it and get a bigger heel spur, but I won't do that right now. And then you can get like a more sturdier tail. And up here, this microscope goes out. Is more for, I think, for microscope mode, of course, and you can see through it. I don't know if it magnifies or anything, but you can, it is real. You can look through it. I think that's it for articulation. I don't know if I showed this. This gets out the way too in order for you to get all this out, but you can get it out the way to get the rocker where you want it, and then just get it back to cover up the ankle, all the mess in the ankle. Yeah, let's get into the transformation. Transformation is actually, there's a lot to do up top, but it's pretty straightforward. It is fiddly as all hell. It's pretty straightforward, so we'll get into it. Want to lift this up right here. These panels are supposed to be all the way down, I think. There is a little nub right here that looks like it would, let me take one for the team and push it down. Yeah, it looks like you would be able to get it out. But for me, I just put it a little bit, and you can, you know, you don't have to put it all the way in. I actually didn't put it in none. I just was trying, I wasn't really sure. I know it probably said it, but I wasn't reading. So I just pushed it like that, and it just stayed. But you can get that out like that, move this in, and it comes like this. That's why that's the only reason I had to push it. Oh, wait. Oh, okay. Oh, it went in. You're supposed to move this down, facing down, but it looks like it went in without it. This one's a little bit farther. So let's see, just push that. Yeah, it's not bad. There we go. Push this arm up, push this arm up. So now, normally you would take this tab, and you don't really have to do anything with it because it's not really a sticking tab. I think it's more so for the tank. But it does leave a little eyesore that is broke. And I don't know why. That's another choice. I know I talked about it earlier, but I don't know why they would use this plastic in order to put that there. I guess it's just a cover, so whatever. But it would make sense to use something that goes all the way around and something that wouldn't break, like metal maybe. Anyway, pull this out. Pull this out, down, I should say, like that. And now you have all this. Lift this up. You can go over here and pull this up. There's a flap right here you want to lift up too. You can pull all this down. Then you want to pull this out and kind of push this out of here so you can accordion it up like that, and then just leave it like that. Then I'll pull this all the way down. Leave it like this. There's this piece that's usually flat. It was pushed down because I pushed it down by mistake. But you just pull this up and move this like this, just so you can get at this. Now this, it's not really super tricky, but you got to have it in the right way, and you can figure it out like going back. But move that. It's on a slider right there, down there, and you kind of move it up at the same time you're moving this out of here, and you want to bend this out. Then you can push it this way. Now be careful with this. This seems like a breakage waiting to happen. Say you fall down or you push down on it. It's definitely a breakage waiting to happen. You just gotta be careful. So my face fell off. What you want to do is move the head around. Face is usually on there, and then you move it around like this. and you have it like that. And then this right here, you want to move this around like this, and it kind of sits flat, and the head kind of sits flat. And it's kind of parallel. You want it both pieces parallel to this black part. Kind of like that, as good as you can get it. Now I move these arms up a little bit because these flaps right here, you're going to want to push down. I do it now because I want to get it out the way. So I just stick my finger in there, and you see that flap of kind of bend out. Then you want to push it, kind of push it down. It should come all the way down. You got to flex it around this, which isn't great either. Now you can push this flap down, and this flap kind of got to go over top of this. I mean, what you going to do? Now for this arm, you want to move it around like that, and then move it up. And you can see it better if I move this up. This right here should move down. This little piece, you'll see. Just move down like that. And then the arm stays in there like that. And then you can move this up and into this cavity in like that. Make sure this is out because this is the tab that broke. So then you move that up and push that in. Now this is a pain because it kind of rubs the head. I guess you got to have it exactly the right way. And I don't know what way that is because it's always been a pain. I've done transformation a couple times now and it's just been a pain. But I'll show the arm again here. You just move it around like that because you want these on the outside. That's the easy way to remember. Oh, and I forgot. There's a peg right here that you want to get out. It's right here on this arm. I'll show you. Click that out like that. And that peg is the same plastic as the other peg that broke. Get it out. I should have got it out before I moved this up. But then it pegs into a peg hole right there. Kind of gets that where it needs to be. Now this, I think I was on the path. I'll do it again just to show you like that. And then you want to bend this up and then bend this down. And it should fit into there like that. Now get this panel right here. Yeah, that's not good. But so you get this down like this. Then you can move this up here. And it's all types of stuff rubbing and I don't even know, but you put that peg in there. Then you move this up, move this down here like that. You do it before or after, it doesn't really matter. Just clean that up. Then you move this there, but I don't have one because it's on the table. Move this up like this. Kind of get it underneath, push it in. Try to get the head exactly straight because it's spring loaded to accommodate this joint. Let me get it straight as I could get it. Again, I've never gotten it. It has never been straight after I put these two in because they just rub against. The face usually falls off. I took the face off because it fell off once. It usually falls off and goes into the body. So then I got to shake it out. Then you move this around like this. Then you slide this out on this piece. Slides forward like that. And you can push this down. Try to get it down all the way. you should hear it snap like that. And then you can move this down. When you have it all the way down, this will lay flat. If it's not all the way down, if you didn't hear that click, it will hit some of this or this, and it might be up a little bit. It might be up a tad bit, but it should be all the way flat. All right, so there we go. Now you pull this out a little bit. You can move this up. You can wait to pull that out if you want, but you can move this up. This notch goes into there. It's not a great connection for mine. I don't know if what I'm doing wrong. But then once you pull this out, you move this out like this. Then you move it down. Then you can push this like that. And there's a peg right here that pegs on the inside of the leg, which isn't a great connection either. Maybe I can get it tighter. I don't know. I just tried. Didn't really work. But again, over here, I'll show it. Move this up into that slot right there. That one feels like it's a little better. Pull this out as much as possible, but you see it still comes out. Pull this out, move the leg like that, move it down. Not on the knee, just on this thing right here moves. That doesn't feel great because it's plastic. Again, I don't know why they chose that plastic. Then you move this and peg it right there. Okay, that one went in good. This one over here is not going in as good, and I don't want to break it. So now you move these feet down. Supposed to move this up. This shouldn't be out as much as it is. There we go. Now this, again, make sure the head, because it fits right there and it's spring loaded to accommodate this joint. So the head goes there and then this pegs in right there. And I like how this is kind of angled to fit with that. Peg that in. That's not a great connection either, because sometimes it'll come out. So yeah, these wheels, you pull them out and they're on sliders, and they got a little triangle that stops, it makes the angle. So that's how you pull it out, move it over, and then it's angle. That's the microscope wheels. Yeah, it looks like a Perceptor to me. It's just a microscope. It's pretty plain. Might want to think about adding something to it. I don't know, some stickers or something maybe. But I know the G1 had like holes up here for the guns and stuff. There's nothing that I see anyway. Since Perceptor was one of the original triple changers, we're going to get him into tank mode. And I'm going to show you exactly what not to do when you plug it in. So I'll just unplug this. You want to move this out. It probably came unplugged anyway. You pull this up so you can move this around like this and put that back. Again, same thing over here. Unplug it. If it didn't come unplugged, move this out, move it around, and push it down. You can push these pegs in, that's on the side. And here's a piece I forgot in microscope before we go any farther in tank. You're supposed to flip these around. And you can see they just make like, I don't know, just the decorations on the microscope. I guess they were functional. I don't know, I'm not a scientist. So I'm not sure what it did, but it just gave it a little extra pizzazz. So once you fool with these arms, then you can just get these legs off of this pegs. Move these up again. Pull this body up a little. in order to slide this in. Slide this back to the original position and then move this around like this. Move these back down in order to collapse this back. So then you can put these back up. Well, actually you can move this, unpeg that of course and pull it. Then you can move it like this, move it back in and move this up. Now this is where the peg is that broke off. So what you're supposed to do is peg that into this hole. Now I pegged it all the way. And I'm not going to do it again, unfortunately. So I pegged it. I pushed it all the way in. I'm not pushing it all the way in right now. It's in a little bit. I pushed it all the way in, and when it came out like that, that's when this stressed and broke. It even was tight just now, like tighter than I wanted it. So for the sake of this review, I'm just going to have it like that. So again, over here, you move that like this. You can turn it like this again. Move this up and collapse. Now here, the peg would be here and you would be putting the peg in there. This should still be in, but it will come out, the microscope part. And then this will fold up and you can kind of have it like that. Now for these feet, you can bend it out on this, oh, you can't see that. Bend it out on this rocker. Pull these all the way out. They're quite tight. Feels weird. Then you move it in like this and it stays like that. Just move it out. Just unfurl that. Move it back in and move this up like this and like that. Now pull these out. If you can get them out. Then there's a little peg right there. That peg goes in there. Now this, I believe, is die cast. This peg, or it may be plastic, but it's not clamped on anything, so it should be okay. Like this, there's a piece inside. I don't know how you would get it out. And that just popped off. I don't know how you would get it out without a tool. So I'm just going to use a tool, and that didn't work. Listen, I just tried for like 20 minutes to get that piece out in here. Let me see if I can get it out over here. I'm not getting it out over there. It's just not, it's not working. You can see what I mean. There's a piece in there that should flip out and cover this little piece right here. I'm not doing it. It's just too much. I mean, this is a throwaway mode anyway. It's always been a throwaway mode. Even on the G1, it was just throwaway mode. So, but here for the wheels, you're gonna pull it up, move it like that, and you see how I'm split my nail. I need to cut them anyway, but move them like that, and then they move down here. And here's the tank. And that is whatever. It doesn't really roll. Nothing going on. What you gonna do? All this stuff is fiddly. I mean, that's frustrating. It's frustrating to not get it out. Like, I would like to have it out for the review, but you know what's in there. You know you can try to get it out. I'm done. I'm not breaking my stuff any further. So let's go back to robot. As I do, we're going to go back to robot and get on about it here. So put these wheels in. Oh, the wheels already in there. Put the wheels in before you fold these up, because then it won't move. So then you fold this up like that. Fold this up on this side like that. You see that peg right there that moves out and moves in. You just get these legs, pull it out, move it down, move it up. Again, pull these legs down, pull that out, move it up, move it in. This right here, you just want to fold it all up, fold that up, then fold this up as much as possible. Again, with this leg, fold that up, fold this in, and fold this up. The bottom part done. This, you can just move that out like that. Pull this up. You don't really need to, but it might be good to. Move this out. It's already, oh, you can't even see that. I just pulled the arms up. They already, because it's coming from tank mode, so they weren't tabbed in, but if they were tabbed in, you want to make sure you pull them tabs out. Now this can get rather tricky. I kind of move this in there like that. Move this in there like that, because if you do it now, it's a lot easier than doing it later. And just leave it like that. Don't push it up yet, because you gotta get all this stuff out of here. Move this down. You can get it with your hands. I've gotten it many a times, but for the sake of time, pull that out. Now you want to move this up before you do that. This tab right there. Pull that up. Then you can move this arm down. Now this is what I've always had issues with. So what I do, I stick my finger in here. Somebody with way bigger fingers wouldn't be able to do this. Stick my finger in on the other side, or try to. Move that head a little bit, and then push on both sides, and then it pushes it out. It's hard though. It's hard. Over here is the same way. You want to open that up just in case, and just push this out here. Again, that was probably the easiest I've seen it. Move this piece right here up. Make sure this is up, because it has to clear the body right there. There we go. Now you can push this up, these side panels, because then it keeps the body up and you don't have to worry about like holding it. Kind of keeps it where it needs to be. Flip these back. This spins like that. Flip that back like that. And pull this out, and it's going to lay flat, but kind of keep it up first, just so you don't mess with it. These arms, I just pull it down and it goes straight. You just want this straight. Where it was a right angle before, you want it straight. And then you can move this like this, and that's where the arms go. But you don't want to put that up yet, because you want to fool with this thing. Again, the same way over here, which is already halfway done. Just like that. And now the arms is where it needs to be. You can actually move this one up. Make sure that peg is not closed. That's the one that'll break on you. Move that and move this down. It's like that. Now you get this. Again, it's all these angles. You got to try to angle it around it. Once it's in there, then you move this all the way down. You want to bend this too because it won't fit in there without bending it. But then you move this, slide this down right here. Slide down on that slider. Then you just got to get these the proper way. Then you can move this down too. Once you get this where it needs to go, you just got to try to kind of get it in the right angles. It has to be at a right angle. And if it's not, it won't fit right. This should be sitting more flat, like kind of like that. It doesn't really sit in there well. It doesn't tab in too great. But once you have that, you get this straight because this is just be straight up here. But get the head where you need it first. Move the head around. Move this up. Move this up here, and then you can accordion this back down to its original position. Almost finished. Let me put his face back on because that's scary. Move these like that, like that. This one, these on the outside. You know what he look like. Move that out. Move this up, push this in. Again, you don't have to push that all the way in. Just enough, because if you go back to microscope, it's not going to come out. Move that out, push that up, push this in a little bit. Move that down. And here we go. And there you are. You have X-Transbots Janssen. If you made it this far in the review, you're a trooper. I don't blame you for skipping around or clicking off by now. And if you have, you not hearing this. So, but anyway, this is Inflewence, and thank you for watching. Anybody that's checking this out, and give me a subscribe, like, share, all that good stuff, all the stuff you do on YouTube if you want to, if you feel the need to. Not forcing you to. And I will get up with you in another video. Peace.
Ain't over, life ain't over, life ain't over, life ain't over. As long as you're alive, you can give another try and take it real high if you want.